How Odin Lost His Eye, retold by Catherine F. Selyu.
Once, when the world was still very young, Odin sat on his throne in the most beautiful palace in Asgard. His throne was so high that he could see over all three parts of the world from where he sat. On his head, he wore a helmet shaped like an eagle. On his shoulders perched two black ravens called Memory and Thought.
The great king gazed thoughtfully down on the earth below him. He had made a green land that stretched out before his eyes. With the help of the other gods, he had made men and women who live on that earth, and he felt truly like the All-Father he was called.
The fair elves had promised they would help these children of the earth. The elves were the tiny people who lived between heaven and earth. They were so small that they could flit about doing their work unseen. Odin knew that they were the artists who painted the flowers and made the beds for the streams, and it was the elves who brought the gentle rain and sunshine to the earth.
Even the ugly dwarfs, who live in the heart of the mountains, agreed to help. They forged iron and metals, made tools and weapons. They dug gold and silver and beautiful jewels out of the earth.
All seemed to be going well. Odin found it hard to think of evil times, but he knew that the frost giants were only waiting for a chance to bring trouble to his children. They were the ones who brought cold and ice to the world and shook the earth in anger. They hated Odin and all the work of the gods.
And from high on his throne, Odin looked down beyond the earth, deep into the gloomy land of his enemies. He saw dark figures of huge men moving about. They looked like evil shadows. He, the king of the gods, must have more wisdom. It was not enough just to see his enemies. He must know more about them.
So Odin wrapped his tall figure in a blue cloak. Down from his throne he climbed. Down the broad rainbow bridge he strode and across the green earth till he came to one of the roots of the great evergreen tree.
There, close by that tree, was a well full of clear water. Its surface was so still, it was like a mirror. In it, one could see pictures of things that had happened and things that were going to happen. But beside the well sat an old man. His face was lined with troubles of the world. His name was Mimir, which means memory.
No one, not even the great Odin, could see the pictures in the well unless he first drank some of its water. Only Mimir could give the magic drink.
Aged Mimir,
Odin said to the old man,
you who hold the knowledge of the past and future in your magic waters, let me have but one sip. Then I can know enough to protect the men and women of the earth from the hate of the giants.
The price of one drink from this well is not cheap.
Mimir said.
And once you have drunk and gazed into the mirror of life, you may wish you had not. For sorrow and death, as well as joy are pictured there. Think again before you ask to drink.
Once the king of the gods had made up his mind, nothing could change it. He was not afraid to look upon sorrow and death.
What is your price, aged Mimir?
Odin asked.
You are great and good, Odin.
Answered Mimir.
You have worked hard to make the world. Only those who know hard work may drink from my well. However, that is not enough. What you have sacrificed, the price of a drink must be a great sacrifice. Are you still willing to pay the price?
What could the king of the gods sacrifice? What was most dear to him? Odin thought of his handsome son Balder, whom he loved most in the world. To give up his son will be like giving up life and all that was wonderful around him. Odin stood silent before Mimir. Indeed, that will be a high price.
Odin put his hands up to his bright blue eyes. Those two eyes had gazed across the world from his high throne. His eyes had also seen his children of the earth. One eye was a small sacrifice to win knowledge of how to help them. And without another thought, Odin plucked out one of his blue eyes and handed it to Mimir. Then Mimir smiled and gave Odin a hornful of the waters of his well. So Odin, the great king of the gods, became one-eyed. If you can find Mimir's well, you will see Odin's blue eye resting on the bottom. It is there to remind men and women of the great sacrifice he had made for them.
Created using Powtoon.